Okay. Hello and welcome to the Saturday night stream of the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. Got delayed a little bit because bloody Chrome has decided to create this whole thing where you're divided up into separate accounts in all sorts of weird-ass ways, which I imagine is somehow supposed to be useful, though in the point of fact, somehow it managed to lock me out of my YouTube account because it was on a separate profile when I'm the only user on the fucking computer, so who knows exactly how that's supposed to work. Well, we're all here now. Maybe get started with a wee bit of rapid. Chat to where I can see it. Okay, play with white, and we start out with my favorite, the English. Got some kind of Scandi coming up. Right. Going D1, D2, gonna do something exotic and foolhardy. Interesting. Now, I'm not worried about the queen here at the moment causing any kind of fianchetto-related problems, because the knight covers all the squares that the queen would need to be in order to do that. And now the queen can't even, now Black's queen can't even get back to the back rank. It's just kind of permanently exposed here. Which don't know is necessarily the best way to be going about this, but there you are. Maybe this is a great theoretical line and I just don't know anything about it. Ah, wonderful. My lights have gone. There's the overhead light in this room is very wonky. But, I mean, we are coming up on Halloween, so I guess it's got sort of a nice campfire feeling to it as well. And just no sooner do I say that. Okay, it's just castle before things get real. Okay. What have we got here? Yeah, is there any reason I need to worry about this? Well, I guess knight G4. Potentially annoying, although not really, because I've already castled. Not actually bothered by any of this. Moreover, I can kick the queen around a little bit and develop at the same time, which is always fun. Okay. I mean, I've seen this setup before, but usually the bishop is the one leading. I mean, sort of using the queen to guard the bishop? Well, I shouldn't tempt fate by being too derisive of this approach. It might turn out to have hidden depths. We shall see. Okay. Well, hey, I mean... Okay, yeah, I suppose that is kind of the only move available. I guess there might be something involving trying to open up this file, and then this could get a little bit ugly. But I don't see it at the moment. I also don't quite see how I'm going to cause annoyances for this queen yet. Well, further annoyance. But I suppose these are things we will discover in due time. I actually kind of fucked up my volcanic pond structure here in a weird sort of way. But actually I see a way clear. So if I can potentially open up a rediscovery on this rook. Okay, do I want to do this? Is there any way this hurts me? Oh, well, yes. Actually, that pawn is hanging. We really ought to develop this bishop before I go doing anything too wild. Okay. Okay. With my knights, you can... Oh shit, yes. Yes, there is that. Buggery bollocks. Okay, GG. Can't believe I just fell for that. I actually saw that. I just missed that it also connected up in this wonderful way with the queen there. Yes, that could have been better planned. Have another one. Okay. Suspiru. Sounds Greek. It's a language I have a really, really weird vocabulary in. Because my entire knowledge of Greek comes from basically two sources. One being a textbook we used at Greek school, which was like sort of the Greek Dick and Jane, but actually like Lander. From which I learned how to say things like "Na enaka no topi." This is a good ball. But then the other main source of Greek vocabulary was reading the English and Greek versions of the manifestos of the 2008 uprising there, side by side. And so, in addition to saying things like "Naena kalo topi," I can say, well, yes, I can also say that. Okay. I can say, Apu borona do titromocrativia tus pasos. Where can I see the terroristic violence of the cops? It's weird how these sort of lines sort of repeat themselves. Because I've been getting this exact line against the English so often lately, and I hadn't seen it at all for a while. Okay, get that D3 move in there. And now I am ready to play D5. Okay, and this pawn here is actually pinned. Was pinned. Oh shit, okay. How do I take it? No, I can't really because this bishop is here for the moment. See, if it weren't for that bishop, I have my light-squared bishop on just the right diagonal to be pinning the queen to the king, and then good things happen. Okay, wait a second. So, let's say if I nick this bishop with the rook, and the queen takes back. And That still doesn't actually leave me with... Okay. Oh, but now it works. Okay, come on, take back. What, you don't want to take back? Okay, I can kind of understand that, actually. Oh, that was daft. Before I commit another daftness, let's take away that potential passed pawn. And I've got a bishop on the nice long diagonal here. That's not a bad thing. Okay, you can't take my a2 pawn unless you want to give up that bishop. I don't think I have to worry about this pin. If this b3 pawn gets taken, then I can just take the b7 pawn right back. What's the idea here? I mean, okay, if bishop takes, then king takes right back. And of course there's a discovery on the e1 rook, but you just take it right, you just take it. So I don't really see how that really improves anything for black. Admittedly, black is definitely a better situation than I am just now. Okay. Break that pin, and now it isn't checked. If their rook decides to take that bishop. Two pawns, but actually equal on pieces. I think I look better if there's one less rook on the board. Oh shit. Yes, that's not exactly how I meant that. Okay. Opposite colored bishops, though. Got any other late scored pawns? Not at the moment. Harass this rook a little bit. Okay.
날 믿어주었네. 둘도 없는 나의 어머니, 영원한 삶의 별이여. 오직 하나 그대만이 나를 안아주네.
Yeah, this isn't looking good.
말 못하는 가슴 속 아픔도 그대 먼저 헤아려 주었네. 둘도 없는 나의
Haven't got these squares.
은혜로운 당의 품이요.
Okay, there is a possibility for a stalemate. Excellent. Although, actually, if it takes that, then it's no longer stalemate.
바람처럼 이 몸은 흩어져도 천번 다시 만번 다시 돌아와 길이라 둘도 없는 나의 어머니
Okay, and G2. Okay. Let's see what reaction fodder has in store for us. We've got liberal bullshit from Dylan Burns. We've got TBH history from PragerU, although we've done a fair bit of PragerU lately. Let's see. Okay, I think we might. I can't do all of it necessarily in one go, but I might do at least a portion of Should the Left Accept Ex-Nazis? Frustrating Debate for the Stubborn Boomer by Xander Hall, the guy who put the quotation marks around the X in ex-Nazi. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Just have a look around.
내 젊은 시절 추억도 많은 사진 속을 펼칠 때면 전화의 그날.
Okay. Let's. Okay.
So Bella, how you doing?
Okay. So, for anyone not familiar with Xander Hall is a guy who bases his entire cred on the left on the fact that he had the uncommonly bad political and moral judgment to become a Nazi in the first place, and then eventually decided that maybe that wasn't the best thing in the world to be doing. And on the strength of this talent of his, he berates all and sundry. So, without further ado...
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you just fine.
I should get that background up. I'll make sure that, otherwise I end up, when I clip this thing for content, I end up having to normalize every single one of the things he says individually, and it is a colossal pain in the ass.
Talk again really quick. I want to see how the audio balancing is.
Hi. So I'm just on my phone.
Okay. No, it's all good. You sound good. I can hear you just fine. Yeah, what's your contention?
Well, I just have a little problem. Wait, hang on. I can hear other people talking, so it's kind of screwing me up. Hang on. Let me try to turn off the other thing.
Okay, yeah, you might want to mute the stream.
Okay, yeah, got the stream away. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Yeah, when it's Xander Hall, you always want to mute the stream, to be honest.
Wait, really
know,
quickly. Chat wants to know what are your pronouns?
it doesn't matter. Call me
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay, cool. Any all. All right.
So, I have a slight issue. I think that people shouldn't be, saying that shit online to ex-Nazis. I don't think it's constructive. I don't think it's like that. But
Okay, and just to be clear, this is the very beginning of the thing, so we don't actually know what shit people shouldn't be saying to ex-Nazis. I mean, I guess we'll probably, hopefully, be finding out, but maybe this will be understandable without that.
My problem is with your logic of it seems like you want to um, welcome the ex-Nazi who just says they're an ex-Nazi and maybe almost exile or a leftist that I guess doesn't feel comfortable with them, around.
And now, this is true. Zanderhall does seem to think that somebody saying they're an ex-Nazi is enough reason to welcome them. Indeed, that's about the strength of his claim to be an ex-Nazi, let's be honest.
I mean,
What do
how
you
do
mean?
you okay?
What do you mean by exile?
Well, you kind of said you were like you don't have to be in the community if you don't want to. So if there was somebody who was an ex-Nazi who maybe has assaulted this person physically, verbally, whatever. There's Nazis that spit on people. There's Nazis that do crazy.
Yeah, okay, this is a fair point. Yes, I mean, okay, it seems to be what about a situation where we're talking about an ex-Nazi who actually personally engaged in violence against somebody in the group that is supposed to be welcoming the ex-Nazi. Okay. Reasonable point. Let's see what happens.
Easy ass shit, right? So all you'd have to be is a Nazi like that said, "Oh, I'm better now," and then so you're now welcome in Xanderhall's community, and the other person has to leave because Xanderhall says, "We'll welcome you." The other,
Yes, exactly. This is exactly right. I mean, I doubt that Xanderhall is going to be holding people to a higher standard than he holds himself to.
the leftist can just go, So
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that it was different for like communities, like particular communities, and that anybody has the right to discriminate based on who they want to associate with? Also, I specifically said that if somebody is engaging in like bad behavior in my community, they'll get shutted or they'll get banned. I'm not going to ban a leftist because they're uncomfortable around somebody who's done something bad to them. If I found
Yeah. Except the thing is that Sanderhall himself his definition of bad behavior is a little bit suspect, because I mean, as we saw a couple of weeks ago when we looked at his attempt to smear Professor Flowers, Lua, for opposing colonialism, which kind of ought to be sort of a basic thing. I mean, he just uses white nationalist talking points there. So, yeah.
Found out that there was like a ex-Nazi in my community that like assaulted or like personally attacked a particular person, that particular person who was the victim of that attack isn't comfortable with it, then we'd figure.
Yeah, what about like if a certain ex-Nazi decided to smear a YouTube creator of color because she said some things and pointed out that colonialism is bad and that decolonization is actually something the left ought to be for, and he got really, really offended because he likes colonization.
Figure something out, whether it be banning the person who did that because they did the thing that was bad, or finding a way for them not to come into contact with each other.
Okay, what about, I mean, being a Nazi in the first place is kind of a thing that's bad. I mean, that's already enough. I mean, what the hell is our standard for saying that somebody's an ex-Nazi? I mean, and the caller, this stubborn boomer, as he's being described here, I mean, where we get that shit from, I don't know. Sorry. Has raised the point of how do we even decide, or how are we even deciding?
And cause an uncomfortable situation.
Fair to say that, but how do you know these people are better, and how do you know that they're not like ex, edgelord Xanderhall, which barely went down the rabbit hole compared to a Gavin McGinnis type of person?
Yeah, except, yeah, Okay. So, I don't know whether Edgelord Xanderhall, which I think is what I'm going to be calling him from now on, barely went down the rabbit hole or not, but, I mean, okay, this is a fair point so far, and Xanderhall is not addressing it so far.
Both of those people are welcome in the chat just as much. If they say,
Wait.
I'm all better now. So
Hold
I
on.
don't, your logic, okay.
Wait,
ahead.
what? What do you? How do you tell someone's a Nazi?
Well, usually they have to say it. So if they have
Yeah, see, that's where we part ways, because the thing is, since about, say, 1945, more or less, Nazis know that there's a certain amount of inhibition towards even people who potentially sympathize with them, towards actually openly identifying as that thing, and so they make it easier through dog whistling and all this sort of stuff. This stuff that Caleb Maupin doesn't want us to talk about because it kind of gives the game away. So yeah, you can't. I mean, they don't just all say it.
actually said that they're a Nazi, like an outright out of the closet flaming Nazi, it's pretty bad. Like most
There
people
are-
won't admit they're a Nazi anyways. Like you weren't
Okay.
racist. You never admitted to being a Nazi because you weren't even close. You were just kind of going down there a little bit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, that's kind of where he is now, is kind of going down there a little bit. I mean, using fucking Richard Spencer's arguments in order to argue against decolonization, that's kind of going down there a little bit. So, what exactly is kind of going down there a little bit if we consider this not being there now?
Hold on.
But
Wait.
gnarly
Hold on,
Nazi.
hold on.
Okay.
Don't try to gaslight me on what I believed.
watched your-
I know you.
Well, maybe don't gaslight other people, and it won't. You kind of encourage it in your community.
I
you
watched your
watched my
video. I
video.
watched your video.
I
I did. I
liter-
just
I
went
was
and
literally-
rewatched it the other day.
I was literally playing
You're
with race
you're a
realism.
misogynist.
He literally still is.
I was literally playing
Yeah.
with race realism and was like not quite there, but within a couple like months of biting down on the JQ. I'd say that's pretty fucking close.
I mean, honestly, just from what I've seen, yeah. I mean, first of all, what the hell is playing with race realism? What is this race realism at the board game? So I bet there probably is a race realism Minecraft out there. There's a turf Minecraft. I mean, he doesn't seem totally honest about where he was in the first place, because, I mean, he's just saying he kind of played around with it. I mean, what the hell is that?
That's not just barely getting down it and
That's
being
down
like
to
an
that- That's
edgy
not to the bottom.
anti-CW.
That's not to the bottom. That's not to the bottom of the thing. That's not on 4chan. You're not on 4chan spamming the N-word.
How far do you have to go for you to be
Well,
in? To,
okay,
for you
now
to be-
that's
Okay, so this guy's first thing is that he doesn't think that Xander Hall was fashy enough when he was fascier than he is now. I mean, now I've completely lost the plot.
That's not my point. That's not my point. My point is that we have to treat that person that barely went down just the same as somebody who was like a huge piece of shit, and like
Okay. See, I would say the person barely went down is also a huge piece of shit. I don't think that. I mean, the piece of shit thing is kind of what they have in common.
unforgivable,
Wait, unforgivable? Hold on, wait. What do you mean unforgivable?
Well, maybe in my thing would be unforgivable. Even if a Nazi's like spit on somebody, that's unforgivable.
Okay, so do you not?
And they
believe
do
in-
that all
you
the
don't-
time.
So you don't? Are you a leftist?
Yes,
Do you believe in restorative justice?
more left than you.
No, you're not.
Yes,
do you believe
if you pay for, yeah, I'm way more left than you, bro.
No,
It isn't hard to be way more left than him.
no, you're not.
Anyway.
No, you're not.
No,
I guarantee
yeah,
you're not.
How the fuck does he know? What do you know? You're not. No, you're not. You don't even know this guy. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe this is not being mentioned. But I mean, why is he saying no? You're not? And lots of people are way to the left of Xanderhall. He does not accept the possibility that there are people to the left of him. Was he Bernie Sanders?
And I've been a million.
The
percent.
fact that you
Anyway, it
believe
doesn't
that there
matter.
are
It doesn't
people
matter.
who are irredeemable no matter what they do means that you are not more left than I am. One of the core tenets of
Irredeemable. I
leftism
didn't
is
say
the
that.
idea.
Yeah, okay, he didn't say that.
I didn't say they're irredeemable. I said
You literally,
maybe
oh
it's
sorry, unforgivable. That I believe that kind of translates over to the idea of being irredeemable.
No, and this is, of course, the thing that he likes to do. This is such debate bro bullshit. So you take one term, like unforgivable, you talk about forgiveness. You're talking very much about something that goes on in the relationship between the person who is the injured party and the person who caused the injury. And forgiveness is not something that isn't always going to be forthcoming. That's not the same thing as saying that a person is irredeemable, which is a judgment about the person as a whole as opposed to the victim's ability to forgive.
I'm sorry if that's not what you meant, though.
for somebody that's been assaulted. Okay, that's what I kind of meant to say. Like not like Xander Hall has to
Yeah,
do it when
see?
he has nothing to do with it. He can forgive that person, fine. But
Yeah, Xander Hall could forgive lots. I mean, except for decolonization. I mean, he has a problem with that. Because, I mean, he once played with race realism, and, I mean, it just kind of stuck
person
with
that has been assaulted by a Nazi, or I mean, they get a lot of these Nazis do this shit and get away with it, so they're like really
Most of them do.
bad. So you don't know if you don't know if one of these Nazis has been like the worst person in the world.
I'd say most
For
terminally
years-
online Nazis probably haven't assaulted anybody.
Yeah, I would not assume that, but, okay, we'll give Nazis the benefit of the doubt. I mean, just admitting Xander Hall into the left in any way is kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt after all.
But that's also
I
that
mean,
is a
and that's the thing,
possibility.
that's the thing though, is I think a lot of these people like will ban like they don't want the crazy Nazis. They'll do the little edgelord Xander Halls because yeah, that's fine. You were kind of an idiot. You made a mistake.
I love that he's... The little edgelord Xanderhalls. It's like Little Lord. It's like the new Little Lord Fauntleroy. Little edgelord Xander. I'm gonna have to do like a book cover, a parody of the Little Lord Fauntleroy book cover, Little edgelord Xanderhall. That's what I'm calling him
And that's
now.
fine. But when you have these gnarly ass like crazy Nazis,
Okay, and I have to say the problem with this guy, I'm still not seeing where we get Boomer, but I mean that is just gone to the point where people just use it and it doesn't mean much of anything except I'm unimpressed with this person. But he's just not doing he clearly has an idea that actually is that makes sense, but he's not doing a very good job of presenting it coherently. Because, I mean, what exactly, I mean, we don't have to, but Xanderhall's kind of acting as if this is, I understand what he's trying to say here. I think Xanderhall probably understands it better than he wants to make out here.
it's hard, and it's really hard to be like
Little edgelord Xanderhall.
it's really hard to believe these people.
Hold on.
It's like
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't care
Especially
about.
when you
I'm
say,
not. I'm
I'm-
not limiting my acceptance of people who have changed to those that were just like edgelords back in the day. There could be a full-on skull mask Adam Waffen motherfucker who like beat the shit out of somebody at a protest, then went to prison, and then
which is not actually something that Nazis usually have to worry about when they beat the shit out of somebody at a protest.
realized that Nazism was bad because
Not
they
in
had
prison,
that
no.
shit debunked, and then got out. Or
Nazis
maybe
don't go
even
to
if they
prison.
did, Nazis don't go to prison.
Oh, very rarely, yeah. Oh,
for not as much of the assault they do. No, they barely do. They beat the shit out of people. You weren't even around in the 90s. Oh my god, like, dude, you don't.
okay, so this guy... Oh, that's where we get Boomer, because he was around in the 90s. And so apparently anyone around... The baby Boomer generation now stretches from, what, 1945 to anyone who was around in the 90s?
I don't even know.
Wait,
So,
do you think that like when they go to court, they
They
just like
barely ever
say,
get caught. The other cops.
Yeah, I mean, this is true. But, I mean, and we've kind of changed the subject away from the real point here, which is why, I mean, why the hell should we believe anyone? And I'll tell you what I think on this. So, because my view on this is somebody put it really nicely on Twitter like a month or so ago. I don't remember exactly who it was. They said, if you want to be accepted as really a genuine, genuinely having realized that you were on the wrong path and trying to make amends for it, then you need to make Warrior Princess Xena level reparations. The way I'm going to believe somebody was actually X is if they take extreme risks to just, dob in all of their mates, all their old mates, tell us, useful information that we can actually use against them. And do all sorts of other things that completely burn those bridges in a way where it potentially does have some sort of risk for them. Then I can start to begin to believe that they're for real. Other than that, if they go off and have a YouTube channel and start claiming all this fucking cred because they're an ex-Nazi, and then, using white nationalist talking points to argue against decolonization, I'm not gonna believe them.
Cops are just their buddies, and they like let them go most of the time.
sure, there are tons of police that'll let that kind of shit slide. 'Cause
Right.
There's a lot of
So,
white
I'm
supremacy
not
in
saying
the
it's
police
all the
system. But
time. I'm just saying there are these people in our community that are trying to be in our community.
wait, why
that-
was your response to me giving a hypothetical of somebody who assaulted somebody who was a Nazi,
that's what you
went to
said the other
prison,
day.
got better, and then came back and got out
Not
of
went
prison
to
and was a
prison.
good person? Why
No,
was your response
you just
that
said all they have
Nazis
to
don't
say
go to
is they're
prison?
good now.
Oh, his response to that was that because it's a fair point. Cops just let this shit slide. Courts let this slide. Just look at the fucking Rittenhouse trial. This is before all that. I'm not holding it against little edgelord Xanderhall or stubborn Gen X boomer, apparently, whatever the hell, who has a much better point than Xanderhall, but can't articulate it very well. That they don't know this, but the judge who in the Rittenhouse case, who claims never to have heard of the Proud Boys, cracked a white supremacist joke in pretrial, has banned the prosecution from describing Rittenhouse's victims as victims, but will allow them to be described as rioters and looters. Nazis, when they actually get caught, they get the fucking cop treatment in court. They get all sorts of dispensation.
Now you just
No.
you just said all they have to say.
No,
is
it's
they're
about
good now.
action. It's about what they
Well,
do and
that's
they
the thing.
say.
No, I'm gonna go back to we should just go back to your other video and say if you, you said it today. If you say you're all better now, and like all you think that
hold
all
on.
these people have to go online and say I'm better now.
I'm being gaslit live on
How?
stream right now.
Well, how's this gaslighting? This isn't gaslighting. It's an absolutely fair point.
If I ever said that all it
Go
takes
here.
for me to accept you is to say I'm better now.
Well, that's your entire claim to being better, Xanderhall. That is literally your entire claim to it, and it's a flimsy one at that.
What matters is how you behave,
said
what
that
you
like a
say and
bunch of
believe.
times.
You can never know what someone genuinely believes. You have to inductively
No, you're
reason
saying
based on
so
their
you have to
actions and what
take-
they
you have to-
advocate for.
Yeah, and I inductively reason based on little edgelord Xanderhall's actions and what he advocates for, that he's not X at all.
But how are you seeing these people's actions? All these people say is they're better now. You like those tweets the other day, like somebody's like, "I was a Nazi, but now I'm better." They didn't even say they were a leftist. It was kind of some like sarcastic bullshit. So it's like,
hey,
okay,
listen.
yeah,
Actually, I've got good news for you. If you want to learn more about that person, you can go watch Vosh's interview with them where they talk about their.
Oh, well, yeah. If Vosh platforms them, then they gotta be completely better. Shit. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Although you'll only know that he's really a true ex-Nazi and really turned the other, turned the other leaf. If Vosh's interview with him is hostile, if he doesn't let him finish sentences, if he's polite to him, then he's probably not X.
story of being groomed by their ex-boyfriend, their family, and how they were in an abusive relationship, and it took the help of their friend to be able to move out of that
blaming people
town
for
and get
being
away
Nazis.
from their abusive.
Also, how the hell does little edgelord Xanderhall here know, based on nothing more than one person saying, "I was a Nazi, but I'm better now" on Twitter, that this is the person this guy is talking about?
Grooming family and ex-boyfriend who like pushed them into being Nazis. You can go learn about their story.
I mean, how the hell does he know that that's the person? I mean, of all the plenty of people have said this. There's a whole grift around being an ex-Nazi, as Xanderhall knows, because he's kind of on that grift. How the hell does he know that that's the one?
Okay, but how do we know that they're better? Besides
On their actions?
going on to Vosh.
Wait, do
Hey,
you think?
did they
wait,
show
do you think
everybody
if
their
somebody?
actions before that tweet?
Wait,
Did they
do
show
you
everybody their actions before that tweet? Were they on? Did they make a Xander Hall arc video and show everybody that they were like really actually good? I think if everybody made
Well, I mean, a Xanderhall arc does not show that.
that video like you did, I think we'd be like great. You
Oh, okay, so this guy's standards suck too.
know, but everybody just gets to say,
No.
"Oh, I'm better now." Tee hee.
No, the comments on that
And how they're
post. By the
accepted.
way, that
How the fuck does he know that this is the post he's talking about? He gave absolutely no details.
person had thousands of people harassing them.
And honestly, first of all, that doesn't mean anything. It's Twitter. You post things, you get thousands of people harassing. That's Jack Dorsey's guarantee to you. You don't know what it is that you'll post, but something you post will get thousands of people harassing you. That is the Twitter guarantee. So, I mean, that you got to narrow that down.
On Twitter, after that like screenshot
It
went
was a dumb
viral,
shit tweet, dude. You
No,
even
it
admitted it. It was
wasn't.
kind of like it was a bad choice of words. It really was.
it was maybe poorly worded, but at the same time, that
No,
person could
terribly
not have
poorly
expected
worded. You're being
for it to be.
disingenuous.
Wait,
Well, yes, he is being disingenuous.
hold on. I'm really
It
curious.
was terribly poorly
I'm
worded.
really
It was like,
curious. I'm really
I was
curious.
Nazi before. Now I'm good.
I'm really
Tee hee.
curious.
That's
Do you
like
believe in
dumb.
empathy? Do you believe in empathy?
Yeah. Okay, where is this going?
You do.
Not for crazy Nazis very much though. I mean, not like I don't think that they can be better or anything. You just have to be really.
What do you
really
think the goal of being?
careful.
What is your goal as a leftist?
Get more people to go to left.
Okay. Okay, I mean, it's a short-term goal, maybe, but, I mean, it would be nice if we kind of had the actual long-term goal out in the open, because that would actually draw the lines a little bit more clearly.
Really?
A lot, like barely any Nazis compared to liberals, conservatives, and stuff. So
That's very true. I mean, and it's really remarkable, because when you look at the polls, yeah, it's something like 9% in one, maybe 13% of the U.S. population sympathizes with explicitly neo-Nazi views. And yet, the number of people who will actually become active and go out in the streets and potentially risk getting their asses kicked, it's a couple of thousand. And it's the same people. You see them all over the place, like flying from one end of the country to the other on fuck knows what money, just to make up the numbers, because they mostly do not have a local following. So, I mean, and that's active Nazis. Ex-Nazis will be a subset of that. So exactly, I mean, it's a valid point. Exactly how much effort should we be, I have hiccups, putting into, fucking converting ex-Nazis when so many other people are much closer to where we are in the first place? This is valid.
I try to
point.
stick to people that aren't just nuts. Yeah, I mean, I used to argue with Nazis back in the day. I used to fight Nazis, man. Don't tell me I don't know shit. Don't tell me, you're more left than me. I'm way more left than you, bro.
I mean, and not even knowing that, I have a feeling that probably it's true. Because little edgelord Sanderhall just isn't all that left.
So
Wait, what is your
uh,
political? Wait, hold on. I'm really curious. Do you believe in restorative
I don't
justice
even
in the
have
prison
one.
system?
I like how this is. It's very convenient, actually, for little edgelord Sanderhall that to make the entire touchstone of what kind of leftist one is, where one stands on restorative justice, which is itself a very broad category, but one that he clearly likes to claim the benefit of without ever having been meaningfully accountable to anyone.
Do you wait? What? You don't
Yes,
have?
of course.
Wait, you don't have a political ideology?
I on it. Well, honestly, when I look at them all, I feel like I'm even more left than most of that shit. Like,
Okay,
honestly. So,
Wait, are you trolling?
I mean, no, I'm not. I'm being genuine.
Wait, are you
Like,
like
I
a,
don't.
are you like a
I hate when people are
socialist,
like,
a
I'm more left than you. I'm
communist?
more punk than you. It doesn't matter. What?
Wait, what? You
Okay,
were
social.
literally the
I
one
mean,
that
I'm-
kept saying you're more left than me. Why are you saying you hate that when I have like you were the one that brought up being more left than me? I didn't
yeah, and lots of people are more left than
once
him.
try to impugn how far
And then
left
I
you
was
are.
like, you did it first, and then I was doing it.
I was
but
literally
now it was
asking
like,
you
yeah,
if you agreed with restorative justice or the idea of like empathy. I
Then,
never.
then you kept saying I'm not even left or whatever. And I was like,
No, you
bro.
said I'm
So,
more left
who
than
cares?
you.
It did. Honestly, I shouldn't even have brought it
Oh
back.
god,
It doesn't
okay,
matter,
this is
'cause
getting
you can't
annoying
do that
as
shit.
shit.
It's like being more punk than somebody. See? Somebody could come on there and say I
Uh-huh.
was the next Nazi, right?
Okay, we're back on this, which has apparently still not been resolved, and Xanderhall still has not come up with a satisfactory. I mean, yes, you can say by their actions. That doesn't actually. Yeah. I mean, that's extremely broad, though. What actions? What's our fucking standard? Have you got one? I mean, any standard where we would welcome little edgelord Xanderhall is not going to be an impressive one.
Sure.
And they'll stay,
Mhm.
okay? And if one of the leftists has a problem with them on there, then they have to leave.
What do you mean they have to leave?
You said that. You're like, if you have a problem with this Nazi on here, or not here, but you can just leave the space, the leftist space. You can go if you
When
have
did
a
I say
problem
that?
with it. You said that on
When did
your
I say
last thing.
That they should leave the
on-
space? Did I say the social
Yeah,
group
yeah,
or the
but you
left?
can just if you feel intimidated by this person or whatever, you can just leave. And you said that. That was almost
Yeah.
like word for word. what
Okay,
you
yeah, no.
said,
If you're in a,
okay?
like if you're in a
Why-
social
why would
space
you-
or like
why
a
would you-
Discord
why would
server,
you-
and there's someone there who used to be a Nazi, and you're made uncomfortable by that, that person isn't doing anything wrong at that moment. They're not.
Okay. So, what we're saying is. So leftists should feel actually hounded out of leftist social spaces in order to make purported ex-Nazis comfortable. That's okay. So he actually, after saying, "Oh, I didn't say that," yeah, he's saying exactly that right here.
Unless they're saying some like transphobic shit and they're clearly not a progressive at all and they're lying about their beliefs, then yeah, I mean, if you just feel uncomfortable by their presence, they're just vibing, they're doing their own thing. It's up to you whether or not you want to leave. It is not like the responsibility for that person to say, sorry, you're made.
Yeah, that's okay. See, this is fucked up. This is again why there's absolutely no reason to accept little edgelord Xanderhall's claim to be X, because the thing is, if you are genuinely an ex-Nazi, so X that not only are you no longer a Nazi, but you're actually a leftist now. One thing, the absolute bare minimum that you will understand in that situation is that a lot of people, especially people who belong to groups that have been targeted by Nazis, will feel distrust and hostility towards you, and you have to wear that because you earned that. You are trying to make that good now, or you should be. And if you're not, if you're just sort of saying, well, I mean, if you can't trust me, then just fuck off, then you're not doing the fucking work.
Uncomfortable by me, I'm going to leave this space because you, for some reason, just aren't comfortable with me because I used to believe a thing. Like, I'm sorry. That seems very unreasonable.
Personally,
to
no.
me.
What is it?
Yeah, of course it sounds unreasonable to him. Of course, it sounds unreasonable to him because if like people who claim to be ex-Nazis are held to any kind of standard, any kind of real serious standard, in order to allow them into leftist spaces, then Xanderhall's out because he does not meet like basic standards. Like, I mean, as we saw, I mean, you can't really even say that he's, you know, anti-racist because the minute you start talking about, you know, just basic shit like ending white supremacy and decolonization and self-determination for colonized peoples, he freaks out and starts talking about white genocide. I mean, so this is very self-serving here, and I think we're gonna like keep coming back to this one over time. It's nearly, what is it? It's nearly a 2-hour video. We've only got about 18 minutes left in this stream. So I think we're going to leave this here for now and play a little bit more, maybe some GeoGuessr. Do a bit of GeoGuessr. I haven't done GeoGuessr in a bit. Okay, classic. World.
나를 보고 물어보네 그때처럼 우리가
Let's see where it takes us.
그때처럼 우리가
Plaza de... Okay, we are Plaza del Remedio. And this, okay, so we're in a Spanish-speaking place, but the stop sign says stop and not potty. I believe that puts us in Spain. So I don't know of, I mean, maybe Puerto Rico, I'm not sure what the stop sign is there, so I haven't been there. But certainly in most of Latin America, everywhere in Latin America I've been, the stop signs say pare. Carpintería El Remedio.
잊을 수 없는 새날은 사진 한 장 두 장 번지되며 김터우의 손 철섭을 뜯어 전우들이 나를 보내 그때를 우리가 우리 잊으랴 그때를
Speaking well, 남빈
우리 잊으랴 우리끼리 저이며 나를
periférico. Ciudad Real. Ciudad Real. Ahí estamos. Conservación de carreteras. Castilla-La Mancha. España y Ciudad. Ciudad Real. Plaza del Remedio. Así yo. Ciudad Real, ahí está. De Ciudad Real. Las orquídeas. Grado de Ciudad Real. Carrefour, Leroy Martín. Merlín. Iglesia de Santiago. Mercadona. Plaza de la Puerta de Santa María. Seguía Carlos. Comandancia de los piculetos culiados. Plaza de Toros de Ciudad Real. Plaza de España. Fernando Merri. Agustín Salido. Plaza Virgen de las Lágrimas. Remedio. ¿Cómo que es Remedio? Plaza Mayor. Supermercado Baptista, Ciudad Real, Plaza Cervantes, San Francisco, Pan Real, Doña Croqueta. Todavía no encontramos la Plaza Remedio. ¿Dónde está esa weá? Telepizza, no sabía que hubiera en Europa. Telepizza en Chile y en Perú. Estuve en España de lo suficiente para comer. Vive en fue de papelería, se nos está haciendo poco el tiempo, así que voy a encomendarme a la buena suerte. A ver. A 6 kilómetros y medio más o menos. ¿Qué? Ahora, esto parece Chile, weón. Esto parece la primera región. A ver. ¿Qué me van a decir? ¿No podría ser Moquegua también en el Perú? Pero no sé. Igual parece la ruta 5. Tal vez a la altura andina. Ah, tenemos a ver, ¿cómo se llama la empresa? Emperador. A ver, Emperador no me suena. empanada, emperador. Moquegua, dice Moquegua. Moquegua, weón. ¿Qué estamos en el... Bueno, muy probablemente estemos en el Perú. Y lo bueno es que son bien pocas las carreteras en esa región. Yo una vez pasé 10 horas en Moquegua porque se nos rompió el colectivo que nos iba a llevar de Lima hasta Buenos Aires. Cagó en pleno desierto de Atacama y la empresa fabricante no quería hacerse cargo. Pero igual un colectivo de Moquegua también podría estar en Chile. No sé, es un poco difícil saberlo. Pero esto no parece colectivo de larga distancia, no parece internacional, parece más bien interurbano. Pero lo primero que hay que saber... Oh, mira, ¿qué tenemos ahí? A veces... Los autos en el Perú tienen la patente en la puerta, pero... sobre todo los colectivos y los taxis. Oh, mira, ¿qué tenemos ahí? Maneje a la defensiva. Pero nada de propaganda electoral. Porque en esa zona la propaganda electoral se queda para rato. No desaparece terminada la campaña, sino se queda para siempre, así que hay weas de Keiko, del Fujimori original, por todos lados, el PPK, porque preso porque cagó, preso por cagón. A ver, no adelantar no me dice nada. Esto no sirve. Pero tarde o temprano vamos a tener alguna indicación real de la ubicación. Porque la señalética no está mal en este sector. A ver, ¿qué dice? No arroje basura, demuestre su educación. Sí, voy a decir que es Perú, porque esas cosas no se ven en Chile. Que vamos a decir la Panamericana a la altura más o menos ahí. Porque nos falta tiempo, pero es una de las pocas ocasiones en que GeoGuessr me ha llevado a un recorrido, a un lugar que conozco, porque yo por la Panamericana en el Perú he pasado varias veces entre Santiago y Lima y entre Lima y Buenos Aires. Yo tengo esa carretera, weón, con tanto recorrido, 6,4 millas, o sea, como 3 kilómetros nomás, weón. Así, así de grabado tengo ese sector del planeta. Porque una pasa como día y medio, 2 días a veces, pasando por ahí. Rumbo a Santiago, rumbo a Lima, no importa. Que de nuevo parece que estamos en un país hispanoparlante. No, passo carrabile. Sono in Italia. Ma l'architettura non è molto distinta. Non è. No, muoveremo addosso. Mancano 2 minuti per l'ora. Ah, cazzo. Giro meridionale. Mi sembra meridionale. Cazzo. A 100 km non va. La stessa regione. Bene. And with that, I leave you until next week. Have a good night, anyone who's watching. And we'll see you on Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.